In this video we're going to show you the basic operation of LearnPad. The LearnPad interface allows you to configure 6 master categories. You can use your own images, icons, backgrounds, etc. to create a menu for students. In this case we've got our default primary interface configured here. We have 6 categories based on the curriculum: literacy and language, maths and numeracy, science and nature, world around us, design and creativity, and music and video. The operations are very simple. The child can select a particular category, and within that category we've created different links or icons to either applications, documents, websites, web links, or actual activities themselves on the device, including Flash-based activities running locally on the device. So here in the literacy category we see there's a number of different icons. An application here for the Adobe Reader. We've got a couple of specific applications for Foundation Key Stage 1, and then some other activities here which are Flash-based activities and website links. So for example, if we take a look at the letter application here, 4 sections within this particular activity.
Now we are going to practice letter shapes. Go ahead and put the letters together.
And this is a sort of a drag and drop activity for the kids. They need to make up the letters here. Yeah, nice, easy interactivity there.
Fantastic. A.
Okay, and we can very quickly go back to the main menu there. Just step back in and start another activity. We can take a look at, for example, a web link, as I mentioned. Here, in this case, this is a link to the BBC Languages primary school content, and we can pick one of those activities and run that website in the browser there. Again, jump straight back to the interface. As I mentioned, we also support Flash content on LearnPad, and we have some activities here. These are actually some Sherston activities, which are Flash-based activities.
Sharon, the shocking sharer. Sharon was a shocking sharer. She hated sharing anything.
Go away.
And again, at any point we can just go straight back to the interface. Again, different categories can hold different applications, different content. Here's a maths one, again some Flash content.
Mac has paid 12p to go on the bouncy castle. Marlon has to pay the same amount as Mac. Click on the coins he needs, and then on the check button.
Okay, so there we go, so we need to pick things off, so we'll have a 5p, 5p and a 2p.
Well done. Mac paid 12p. Marlon paid 12p. That's exactly the same amount. Mac and Marlon can have a turn. Whee! Woo! Hee! Woo! Ha! Whee! Woo! Woo!
And there we go back to the interface again. So that's the lockdown student interface. Now we can configure the device in 2 ways. We can either configure the device locally on each individual LearnPad, or we can use the Avantis LearnPad Central Management and Content Delivery web-based portal, which will allow us to create groups and configurations for multiple LearnPads and actually deploy those remotely, and I'll show you how that works. So the way we actually configure the device via either method is initially by unlocking it. So we have a teacher unlock here, so I'll just go ahead and unlock it. Okay, and now we're in the unlock mode here. So when we press the menu button, we've got 3 things that we can do. First of all, we can add and edit applications themselves to the interface, and this allows us to look at the list of applications that have actually been installed on LearnPad. So in this case I'll take the book reader here, select that, and it then asks me which of those categories I'd like to put it in. So in this case, literacy and language. We can put it in multiple activities if we want. We can actually include it in a number of different subject categories. So we'll say OK to that, and that will add that application. So again, when we go back to the interface here, we should see that bookstore in there, and there we go, there it is in there now. So quite easy to do. Same thing with adding and edit websites. Here are a list of all of the URLs that have been put into the device already, approved URLs. These are the links that appear within the interface, very similar to shortcuts. We can approve a new website. In this case, for example, we could search it, we could put in our own URL, go to a particular site. Let's say we wanted to approve Google, for example. Then click on the little star icon there, brings up again a list. We can change the name that's going to appear in the interface, and we can select the categories that it goes into. So we'll say literacy and language and perhaps science and nature, and we'll approve that website there. So that website's now been added to the list and added to those categories. So when we go into that particular category and we have a look, there's our Google website link there, and the children can now access that and run that. It's very simple to do it on the device itself, but that's a per device configuration. We then have a teacher menu. Again, this is only accessible through the unlocked password, and that allows a teacher to put again different applications, different shortcuts, icons, links on effectively like their own desktop. So you'll see here we've got the File Explorer, the LearnPad configuration application, the LearnPad proxy application for proxy networks, the Mount Manager application, which allows us to connect to network shares, and then, for example, accessing the Android-based system settings here, and we can connect it into the wireless Bluetooth settings, all of the settings on the device itself. Also, obviously, then just a link to the unlocked web browser. So again, you can use the browser to browse around. Okay, so as far as configuration is concerned, the proxy, just very quickly here, again, just fill in your proxy settings, server host name and proxy port, and then you can enable and disable the proxy if you're moving between perhaps the school and your home network where you don't need a proxy. You can turn the proxy on and off through there. The LearnPad configuration app, this is what we use, two purposes for this. First of all, we can go ahead and click on check for system updates, and that's going to connect to our servers and see if there are any updates to any of the content applications or the system applications on the device itself. But we also have what I mentioned earlier is the user and the group identifier, and the user and group identifier is the indicator that puts this particular LearnPad into one of the groups that you've configured through the central management system online. So at the moment we were configured with the primary interface. We can actually change that very simply. We'll take that out and we'll go to the secondary. So we'll put it into the secondary school group. Then we click on content updates and check now. Now that's going to go off and connect. It will find the default secondary profile and it will start to download the configuration, which we can see there, 13 items to go. That's going to download all of the content, all of the links, and all of the images and icons to recreate that user interface. Now, while this is a group profile, you could actually use this as an individual profile. So you can create an individual profile for each student if you want to, and that will lay out their configuration in a certain way. It just means you can move LearnPads between users, or actually between classes or age ranges or groups, and have them perhaps some configured for SEN, some for Key Stage 1, Key Stage 2, and change the configurations very, very quickly. That's done now, so when we go back to the main interface, you'll see a very, very different layout. And again, that's a complete configuration that we've done here. And again, in each category you would have different icons, different links, different applications. All of these icons and backgrounds can be configured through the web portal. You can put your own images, your own backgrounds, your own icons, and you can create your own category names. So here we've got literacy, maths, science, geography, art, or music. You could of course put perhaps a history interface, and you could have different links, World War I, World War II. You can build your categories based around that. And then lock the device back up again, and then it's back in the hands of the students.